Hi everyone and welcome to this YouTube video. Thanks for joining. Today I've got 3 awesome rallycross races for you. I've never done rallycross in iRacing before, so it's going to be a learning experience, but without giving too much away, it's a lot of fun. So here we are, starting P1 on the grid in the first race. 7 cars in this rallycross event. Cars are getting ready to go. P2 gets a jump start there, so he'll serve a penalty for that. And we get a good start off the line. P3 on the outside also gets a pretty good start, but we have the inside line so we can take the apex. And after the first couple of corners, we've taken and maintained our lead with the yellow car behind, closely following us. But he was the car that jump started, so he's likely to have to serve a penalty of some sort during this race. Pulling out a gap of about a second now to the Cheetos car, chasing down the beautiful Easy Grass VW. And P3 and P4 4+ seconds behind now, so, and it looks like the Cheetos car behind us decided to go for their Joker on the first lap. That was an interesting decision, considering it would then place him behind P3 and 4, most likely. So we've got lots of free space for us just to put in the laps. This race is a 10-lap race with a mandatory single Joker lap, which you can choose to serve on any of your laps. My tactic here was to build up a big enough gap so that I could serve it and maintain first place. The car looking majestic through the dirt, over the ramp, into the air, perfect landing. Back onto the tarmac. Not for long though, back into the dirt section in the middle sector. Missing the corner slightly there, going quite deep, not to matter. At this point we've built up a gap of about 17 seconds to P2. That's plenty of time to probably take the Joker, so we might start thinking about doing that soon. And in fact we do exactly that, we take the Joker on this lap. It's not much slower than the non-Joker lap, probably a difference of a couple of seconds. But we come out still clearly in the lead. Riding on board now. And we see there's a car in the wall ahead. That's Taylor Millhouse. Now will he hold us up? Are we able to get past easily without losing too much time? The gap behind is 15 seconds, so we've got plenty of time to find a way past. Looks to be some serious damage on that car in front, and there is more damage there. We narrowly avoid being hit by that spinning car. He perhaps should have done some more practice, and we just drift around in front of another lapped car. That is Matchik. He's lost about 12 seconds on the last 2 laps to us. And he's taken another holiday in the grass there, so that is probably not the optimal line to be taking. It's probably why we've caught up about 12 seconds in 2 laps. But all we have to do now is keep it out of the walls, and we'll have our first rallycross victory in our first ever rallycross race. So after leading the race for 9 laps, we come on to the final lap of the race. Over the start finish onto the first dirt section. Flicking the tail out all the way around. Lovely to see. Up onto the ramp. Big jump. before onto the first tarmac section. Not for long, onto the dirt again. Keeping it nice and, I was going to say tidy on the inside, but we left a bit of space there. Not to worry, we've got plenty of time to deal with. Taking it nicely round the final bit of dirt, onto the last tarmac section. Only a couple more corners, around the final bend, and we go home into our first rallycross win. A little bit of a tail slide to celebrate there. So that is the end of the first rallycross race. And we're starting in P1 yet again for this race. 5 cars, waiting for the lights to go out, and they're off. We get a good start in P1 up the inside. P3 also gets a good start. We take it a bit hot into turn 1, which means we have to back out on the exit, which allows P2 to come up close alongside us, but we hold it into the next corner. We get a little shove from behind. P2 hits the wall before hitting us, and that's not a great start to the race. We quickly try and turn the car around, trying to get past 3 other cars that are also in the wall. And in an eventful start to the race, with 4 of 5 cars crashing out, we have got a bit of work to do to catch P1, who's 8 to 9 seconds up the road, or up the dirt, I should say. Can we do it? The car looks to be in good shape. Doesn't seem to be too damaged from that incident. And P1 is dramatically losing time. I'm not sure what happened there, but we've retaken the lead. It seems that P2 took his Joker on that lap, but may have crashed on the Joker section. He's come out behind us, but he lost over 8 seconds taking the Joker, which is quite a lot. And now we have to build up a gap of our own before we take the Joker ourselves. We don't want to come out behind Mason Bay in P2. We've already built up 2 seconds. Good gap. Not enough to take the Joker just yet, but if we can do that every lap, we can hopefully secure first place again. So after an eventful start, normality has resumed, and we're back in the driving seat of this race, as we were for the whole of the first race. A bit of a interesting way to take that jump, but we survived. And we go hot into that corner as well. Definitely some improvements to be made, despite the almost flawless results so far. And coming on to the 6th lap, about the halfway point. Well, it is the halfway point. We've settled nicely into the race now, building up a good lead to behind. This is ours to lose now. We've just got to keep putting in the laps, and we should have our second win from 2 races. Especially in the rookies class for this dirt road series. Seems to be a lot of keeping it on track as we take the Joker lap. Nicely taken there. But yes, if you can keep it on the track, out of the wall, just put in clean, consistent laps, which is not easy on the loose surfaces. The car doesn't handle like all the other road cars in iRacing do. Braking is very difficult. But if you can keep it on the track, you stand a good chance of doing well in each race. As we saw at the start with 4 of the 5 cars crashing out. taking a lot of curb as we head on to the final lap of the race. We're shown the white flag. We've got a gap of 17 seconds behind. It's an unassailable lead, if only we can just keep it on the track. Take no silly risks. Taking that corner very nicely, getting into the rhythm of things now. And that hairpin was beautifully done as well. And we're coming onto the tarmac for the final time in this second rallycross race in my career. And we come across the finish line in P1, back-to-back wins in my first ever 2 rallycross events. The easy grass livery getting all of the limelight, as it should. Looks wonderful over the jumps. And yeah, that's the end of race 2. And here we are for the start of the third and final race for this video. This time we didn't manage to qualify in pole, we qualified in P2, pipped by Seiji. Car's getting ready to go. And we get a much better start. P1 is a slouch on the pedal at the start. And we just close the door. And once again, for the third race in a row, we exit the first couple of corners in first place. This time we get through the first dirt section incident free. The orange car behind really flicking the tail out. And we've already built up a gap of more than a second, almost 2 seconds, to Alex behind. This race already looking more competitive than the previous races. Alex and Robert behind, not disappearing too easily. They're applying the trick that I spoke about earlier, where if you can just keep it on track, you have a chance. Although the number 2 car of Alex there behind taking a really wide exit through that hairpin. And we managed to extend the gap up to 3 seconds. As it looks like they both take their joker lap there actually. And Seiji, who was on pole, he pipped us to pole position, has fought his way back up to 3rd place after losing, I think, all positions. He ended up in last after the initial start. So we'll see if he can close the gap. He was a couple of tenths quicker than us in qualifying. But 7 seconds is quite a margin to make up over the course of 10 laps. Riding on board now. In the non-existent passenger seat. And you can just see out the corner of your eye there the amount of little corrections you have to make with the wheel in this car. Particularly in these drift sections on the dirt, just to keep the car facing the right way. Just gently point it into the apex. You can just see Alex in the background of the picture there. So we don't have such a dominant lead as we did in the first 2 races. This one has definitely been more competitive. The Easy Grass logo becoming a little bit obscured now from all the dirt that we've sprayed up from our wheels. And we're coming up to a bit of traffic here. The car ahead, which doesn't seem to be changing gear very well. Let's hope he doesn't hold us up too much. We have managed to extend the gap behind to about 5 seconds now, so we're not in too much of a rush to get past, but we would like to get past at some point. Being held up for 3 laps would not do us any good. Our friend in the number 7 car takes a very wide line round there, and we're right on his tail into the final tarmac section. And he actually hits the wall, and we managed to avoid becoming collateral damage there, and we just about get past him safely. Tim not having a good time of it, down in 5th place. And we didn't lose too much time, about half a second we lost there trying to get past. And here we go then, we're coming on to the final lap of the final race of today. The 3rd race in this Rallycross Rookies series. We've drove pretty well throughout, a few improvements perhaps could have been made, but we've done enough, and if we can just keep the car facing the right way for this lap, then we can make it 3 wins out of 3. This race was a bit more competitive. We had to settle for starting in 2nd place as opposed to pole like in the previous 2 races, but we got a good start and just managed to maintain the lead, maintain the gap to the guys behind. And there we have it, 3 races in Rallycross and a hat-trick of wins. I don't think it could have gone, well, I was going to say I don't think it could have gone any better, but I'm pretty confident it could not have gone better than that. So I hope you enjoyed those races. I certainly did. I was not expecting to win any of them, never mind all 3. It just goes to show that if you can keep it clean on the track, then you always stand a chance. I'm definitely going to be doing more of those Rallycross races, so stay tuned for more of those videos. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, comment down below and subscribe if you're not already. Until next time, take care.